Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Let's continue our topic Roadside Stand. So, Roadside Stand, a poem written by a famous renowned poet, Robert Browning. He was an American, Robert Frost, rather. Not Robert Browning, Robert Frost. His poem is very famous and a renowned poet of America. And in this poem, we know he is showing he criticizes in this poem unequal society where there is a huge division between the rich and the poor, the haves and the have-nots, owing to the unequal distribution of wealth. It depicts with clarity the plight of the poor and the complex dynamics of their existence. In this poem, the poet focuses on the fact that unequal progress and development between cities and villages have led to the feeling of unhappiness in the rural people. They are very unhappy, these people from the village side, from the countryside, and because they have little source, less sources to sustain their lives. Let's go through the summary. Let's summarize it. This poem. The poem is about a farmer who puts a little new shed in front of his house on the edge of the road. So many cars sped past. It means many cars are just going past this shed at a very high speed. They're flying on the roads, they're traveling towards their destination. He desires to sell wild berries, squash, and squash means the type of like a cucurbita, like gourds, vegetables and other products. He does not like to live on charity, means he would not have already told you, he would not like to earn the bread, get the bread in alms on charity. He tries to sell his products for money. He believes that money can give him a better lifestyle as he saw in the movies. However, his hopes remain unfulfilled. People traveling in cars never bothered even to give cursory look at his stall. If anyone among them happened to look at it, they see how the letters N and S had been uh, just written wrong. They believe that such badly pointed signs spoil the beauty of the rural area. These people who think that the artless painting of these signs like an as had been wrong, so they spoil the beauty of the rural area. These people believe. Nevertheless, a few cars did may stop there. One of them desired to take a U-turn just to go back, or one may stop to ask for the price of the goods. It came that the one of them desired to take a U-turn. It came into the farmer's yard and spoiled the grass. Another car stopped to ask for the way. He has to go to ask for the direction, and one of them stopped to get fuel through fuel. The farmer did not sell petrol, we know it, and he also knows it. The poor village people had little earnings. They lead a life of poverty. It's known that some good doers plan to remove the poverty, but they have been said a greedy good doers because they have deprived them of their land. they aimed to buy their property on the roadside to build theaters and stores. That was their main cause. That's why they think to do something good to the people, but actually they have done nothing good to them. They plan to shift the huddled villages. uh, the wish to teach them They also wish to teach them the ways that could change their good and healthy habits. Then they even aim to teach them to sleep during daytime. The greedy good and beneficent beasts of prey desired to force the benefits on the poor village people, and the poet feels quite miserable at the pitiable sufferings of poor village folks. He even had a childish desire, means he, the poet, has a childish desire, for longing for all the poor to be done away with at one stroke to end their pain. He has this desire that they should be done away with one stroke to end their pain. But he knew that it is childish and vain, useless. So he desires that someone relieves him of his pain by killing him. And this is his childish desire, that somebody would to do away with means to kill these poor people, and that's how just this pain can be removed from them. But that's childish longing. So this is how he expresses his sympathy for these poor villagers, poor people who have just erected a roadside stand in order to sell their produce, sell their crops there, and earn some money from the rich people from cities who have been said as good doers, because they want to do something good, but they actually did not. They are greedy in a sense. They want to erect their theater and store there and just deprive them their land, and they have been hurdled. These hurdled villagers, they have been hurdled together in a very in a smaller space. So all this is about the summary of this poem. Let's now discuss the questions given at the end. You see, and question: think about the city folk who drove through the countryside hardly paid any heed to the roadside stand or to the people who ran it, if at all they did it, was to, if at all it was all they did, it was to complain. Which lines bring this out? What was their complaint about? The city folks who drove through the countryside hardly paid any attention. They stopped for a while only to complain there, and simply showed that the artless painting of the directions N and S have been are wrong, and they had been they have just spoiled or marred the beauty of the poem. This is how they complained to these villagers, and they stopped to complain there. How they? What was the plea of the folk who had put up the roadside stand? What was the plea of the folk who had put up the roadside stand? What was his request? Who had put up the roadside stand? His only plea was that these rich people would stop for a while there and stay for a while there and buy their produce and just help them to earn some money so that he can live a luxurious and a good life. This was this was the request of the roadside stand that was there. The question number 3: the government and other social service agencies appear to help the poor rural people, but actually do them no good, because the words and phrase that the poet uses to show their double standards. The government and other service agencies, they wanted to do some good. They have just promised them the life of the motion pictures that has been shown in the such a life, moving pictures, the life of the moving pictures that was promised by the party in the power, means the government. But they have not succeeded in that. They have not fulfilled their promise. They could not kept their promise. So that remained only a promise, and that could not materialize. Question number 4: what is the childish longing that the poet refers to? Why is it when the poet in the last line, the poet has a childish longing, has a desire that somebody should come and do away with these farmers, these poor people. Means, but this is a vain, a useless a thing, useless longing, useless desire. This could not happen. Question number 5: which lines tell us that about the insufferable pain that the poet feels at the thought of the plight of the rural poor? These poor people are they are suffering because they don't have the money to sustain their lives. In the lines, why keep money? These people are just waiting that somebody would come their way and sell their produce, sell their product. And here in these lines, the poet just shows their pain. These the plight of the rural people. Uh, Insufferable pain that has been shown in, I think it is in the last stanza, where the poet wants that somebody their pain could be removed by doing away with them only. Just like I can't help owning the great relief it would be to put these people at one stroke out of their pain. And then next day, as I come back into the scene, I wonder how I should like you to come to me and offer to put me gently out of the pain. In these lines, the poet shows that they are suffering, and that's why he wants to do away with these people, and so that their pain can be removed from them. And I think with this, we have completed our topic, a roadside stand. Okay, Khuda Hafiz.